Hello, everybody, and welcome to the series finale, maybe, either this or like the next one, of Taking Strahd Seriously. Today is January 7th, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of you before we begin each and every single one of these episodes that we do, of course, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We also post all of these shows as VODs and audiocasts anywhere audiocasts can be found, as well as at youtube.com/indooradventures. We also have a delightful new merch store. So if you go to indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com, we have so much merch for all of you now, and I am very excited because it was actually rather worrisome that Teespring still has not gotten back to me from my email. So that just goes to show that we've made the right call going somewhere else. So, other than that, if you're looking for further ways to support the show, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures, where we put up our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask upon us, if you join the Patreon, at the end of the show, hey, you'll get something. Otherwise, you can always feel free to join us on Discord, where you can just talk to us directly there. It makes things pretty easy. So, that is it for my spiel. Hey, RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey, everybody, I'm RJ, and I'm playing Bartholomew, the human ranger bloodhunter werewolf.
Hi, I'm LB Hackmup, and I am playing Silmi Malreska, the wizard half-elf.
And I am the indoor adventurer, and I am going to be playing Kefris Bellevue, the mongrel folk barbarian.
And I'm your very spooky DM, Wings, and I am going to be playing Strahd tonight, among others. Wait, why are you so upset?
No, I'm hype!
Oh, okay. God. All right, so when we last left off with this group, when we were last all assembled together, it was right after Kefris and Irina's secret wedding that turned out to be not so secret on account of the fact that Strahd knew all about it and used that as an excuse to begin her preemptive assault on basically everyone in Barovia, as she broke open her vaults and crypts and unleashed the hordes of the undead upon the people in the valley. So, up to that point, the past two sessions, we have been covering the Counter-Strike of the Team Heartbreak and Team Daybreak, who were petitioned, God, words are failing me, who set out to destroy the Heart of Sorrow, and also to retrieve the Sun Sword. Now, I promised I would allow everybody to have at least a scene or two before beginning the assault. So it's right after Strahd's announcement, and the hordes of the undead are beginning to descend. Kefris is standing at the altar with Irina. What is his first reaction to this?
He is going to look up at Irina and with incredibly large eyes just start stammering. I didn't think.
She just looks at you, draws her sword, and says, "They are attacking." And then she just runs away.
He nods and quickly follows her.
Bartholomew is also there.
He has, as I said, to last episode, he has dragged a pew out to like the middle of the entrance, knocked it over, and he's like loosening bolts into the demons and the creatures coming in.
Right. Okay. So someone that we have not seen the reaction of this particular moment. So we'll say like maybe like a few minutes before all of this goes down. Silmi and Maybell are in their room in the Blue Water Inn, and they are chilling. They are hanging out, and I want to say that like Silmi is like draped across a bed that's been scattered with rose petals, and Maybell is like sitting at a desk and like making plans for the assault on Ravenloft. And Silmi keeps on trying to coax her back into the bed, and Maybell will get about halfway across the room and then think of something else and go back to go write it down. And then all of a sudden, swirling vortex above Ravenloft, and the two of you look out the window and see that going down. What do you do?
If I recall, she said something about like what did she say? Something about like doing something that wasn't allowed.
Oh,
Her
God.
booming voice. It was something like that, which led me as Silmi to believe, oh my gosh, our wedding. What have we done?
It was, yeah, essentially. It was, you found a way to trespass against me in the most egregious of ways.
Yeah. So Silmi's just like, how did she know? And she's gonna look at Maybell, take her hand. I did not put this away properly. Take her hand, and she's going to say, are you ready?
Of course, Silmi. I'm ready for everything. And everything that we've discussed.
All right. Let's go find the others.
Like, you try to pull away, and she, like, stays there and holds your hand, and then she puts a hand up to your face and says, are you ready?
I'm going to have to be.
All right, she kisses you, and then the two of you run off.
Yes. Yes.
And then you find your brother. He and Bartholomew are just beginning to hold off the first invading force. Do you two need a scene?
So he's just gonna walk up, some sort of spell flying out of her hands as she gets to her brother. I don't know how she find out, but I think we've offended her, and she like is motioning to her and Maybell.
And so we're like fighting off monsters as we're having this conversation, like Marvel style, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
okay,
Yes,
cool.
absolutely.
We have, it's heated combat, but we have time for quips, and that's really what counts. So Kefris is going to say, Silmi, I did a thing.
What
And
do you
I'm
mean
sorry.
you did a thing?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not think that it was going to be as dangerous as it turned out to be. But from what I've told, it's a journey.
What are you talking
I
about?
married
Kefris?
Irina! And then he's just gonna continue stabbing.
You what?
Bartholomew is also there.
She's gonna stop and turn around and disregard everything that's behind her, and I assume Maybell just pitchforks something. You married Irina?
Yes!
Without me?
See, I thought it was going to be like a secret thing.
Who else was there?
I was.
We needed an officiant.
Who marries you?
Me?
We talking about this later. She's just gonna throw off another ice cube, and she's gonna turn to Irina. She's like, welcome to the family.
Thank you, sis.
No.
Terrible.
We
Also,
should
like,
go to Ravenloft.
we mentioned Maybell. When she rolls up to the fight, she's wearing like her normal maid's outfit, but her hair has been put up into like braided, like right up against her head. So like instead of her regular pigtails, like the two braided buns.
Mhm.
And she's also wearing some half plate because you don't go into a battle in only just a dress. Anyway, she's also got a silver frying pan that Bartholomew gave her.
It's a wedding present.
It was a wedding present. Yes, indeed. All right. So then the events of the past 2 sessions occur, as well as some other stuff. Kefris gets separated from the team that he was supposed to go with, and winds up fighting Strahd's brides in the Heart Chamber.
I earned a point of exhaustion.
Yay!
Oh wait, I was supposed to keep that, wasn't I? Okay, sorry. Oh, I did. Okay,
Well,
I remember we talked about stuff. I just wanted to make sure I was still on.
We'll recover that. And then meanwhile, Irina, Bartholomew, and Arabelle had to kind of like meander their way through the castle in a convoluted way. And they wound up getting to the top of that same tower, and they were ambushed by Rahadin, who they quickly dispatched. And that group is able to actually basically just start heading downstairs and then rendezvous with the rest of Team Heartbreak. So Bartholomew and I kind of like this mental image better. That it's right after the fight with Rahadin, you're all kind of catching your breath, and then the trap door in the floor opens up, and Kefris just pokes his head in.
You're muted, sir.
He pops up out of the trapdoor. Is everyone oh shit, what the fuck happened there? It's like pointing over to Rahadin's body.
You got fucked.
Okay, well, nice to see you. Anyways, glad you're alive.
Likewise.
Were you able to recover the sword?
Pulls out the hilt.
Swing. Crackle, crackle.
Where's Silmi?
I don't know. She's probably still down doing her part.
And I forget, did we have like a meeting place where we were all going to reconvene?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be the main floor. You remember a place it's just in the entryway where you get to a place where you look up and you can see 4 gargoyles standing there.
Okay.
So that's you're supposed to meet in the gargoyle entryway, which is on the main floor. So you guys have got some stairs to take.
Okay. And Irina is with this group as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then he will make sure that she's all right / not injured.
Mm-hmm. And actually being close to her, you feel bolstered, as though things that could previously harm you before would not be able to. The equivalent of 2 points of AC. Where are you at now? 19?
Yeah, I'm at 19 AC.
Yeah. I think Irina's actually at 20. On account of that their plate. Arabelle is here. She will give you one final reading and tell you where your final fight with Strahd is supposed to be.
Okay.
And she draws one card, puts it down, and then she starts to draw the other 2. And then she says, "You know what, Myrmidon? I don't want to know what happens to you. You're going to have to tell me yourself."
And he just smiles and nods.
And so she takes that card and she hands it to you. And shoot, I actually don't know what card it is. Knights of the Courtyard, I'll figure it out. But it is in the chapel of Ravenloft, which is basically just a straight shot from where you're intended to meet with Silmi.
Okay. Sounds good. Meanwhile,
Silmi! Team Jailbreak was comprised of Silmi. It was supposed to have Flint. Silmi, Maybell, Flint, Ismark, and Zuleika. And Flint did not go with Team Jailbreak. Instead, he wound up going with Team Heartbreak, much to Zuleika's chagrin. Your job was to go down into the dungeons of Ravenloft and release. Oh my god.
Asher.
Yes, Escher, and I forgot the name of the werewolf guy.
Emil.
Thank you, friend. Emil Tornescu. So you did that. God, I'll be a little more descriptive. You went down a spiral staircase into a dungeon filled with many horrors and tortures and examples of the cruelty of Strahd. You find plenty of fresh bodies of just like horrible things have been done to them. One example that comes to mind is you find the body of a bard who was hung by his feet from the ceiling over water, just like with his head just under the water, so that he could like lift himself up out of the water, but you know, eventually he was exhausted and then drowned. So like there's shit like that everywhere. There's another one that's
boy.
like a wizard who like obviously has been exsanguinated, just kind of slowly drained of blood by vampires. So that was super cool. The entire dungeon has about a foot of water in it. And whilst you were adventuring through it, Ismark fell victim to a lot of traps. And you eventually did find Emil, who was a large, kind of elderly, bald, dark-skinned man with a little bit of gray in his beard. And as soon as Zuleika freed him, the two of them just bounced and left you.
Great.
Yeah, so, because of fucking course they did. You eventually reunite with Escher after he was teleported away by a trap. You find him in a cage somewhere. And he's all like, I found these. And it's like a glowing sword.
Oh, lovely.
So now he's got a cool dagger and a cool sword.
Mhm.
And you're reunited with him until you eventually do find Escher as well, who is shackled to a wall. And as you approach him, he kind of looks up and you can see his eyes light up as he recognizes you. And he just says, hey there, sweetheart.
You can't speak to me like that anymore. I'm married now.
I don't judge. What do I gotta say to get some help around here?
I think you've done enough. She's gonna attempt to get him out.
All right. You're able to find some keys and unshackle him. And he looks up at you briefly, and you can see that there's actually a very feral glint in his eye. And he says, you wouldn't happen to have a drink on you. I am parched.
And she kind of looks around and gives Maybell like a knowing nod, and offers him her arm. She says, you have to control yourself now.
He takes it gently and says, thank you. And then he just like goes for it. It is like, it is scary. And he goes for a little bit longer than you would like. And then Maybell starts to get nervous. And then Ismark finally just like grabs him and shoves him away.
Yeah. Oh, she kind of like uses frostbite on her hand, freezes it a little bit and
numb it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are able to well, okay, we've already discussed how many hit points and spell slots all of your issues have done for you.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions for Escher?
I did. Well, what is she doing now?
We'll assume that we're walking and talking.
Right. What is she doing now? Where is she?
Strahd? Honestly, she's probably watching, waiting for her grand entrance.
She does like a show, doesn't she?
She likes a show and she likes being the star.
You know, if You don't have to stay if you don't want to. You've already done more than enough.
Shouldn't, and he shouldn't either. He says, kind of looking at Ismark.
Why?
In fact, we should go now.
Does she have control over you?
She could.
Right. Will you help defend the villages?
It would probably be better for us to get away from people as best as we can.
Okay. When this is all over, I don't know what's going to happen to you. As far as your... She kind of motions to their mouths. But I hope there's something that I can do about it.
Me too.
Thank you for everything. You too, Ismark.
And we will jump back to Kefris, Irina, and Bartholomew. Is there anything that you three talk about before you arrive at your destination?
General plan. We know that we have to get to the chapel. And that's near the meeting place. We know Strahd's a caster. So how, like, basically just determine marching order.
I can function either from in front or behind, so pepper her with crossbow bolts until you get really close, and then I'll run up.
And I know that it didn't exactly work out as well as we thought it was going to last time, but my vote is still to give Irina the holy symbol.
In all honesty, she's the only person who can use it, so...
It makes the most sense.
Irina gets out the holy symbol, just kind of confirms that she still has it.
I thought that Silmi had it from when she had gotten knocked out, or did you return it to her?
She reached down Silmi's
Oh,
corset
okay. Cool.
And yeah, she has it again.
All right. Sweet.
Yep.
All right. And
Just
so, yeah, Kefris just volunteers to be front-facing meat shield.
Okay. As you are meandering your way through the castle, you see some crazy things. You come across a room with some abnormal stuff inside. There appears to be religious iconography as well as some sort of mechanical artifice. And it is also very dark. And these... Sorry, the cat is going nuts right now. In the darkness, amongst these strange shadows that are being cast across the walls, you find what appears to be an altar with a glass coffin on top. And you can see that there is a silhouette inside, but it is too dark to ascertain what exactly is in there.
Bartholomew holds everyone up. Maybe this is where she comes back when we kill her. We should take note of it. And
So
he's going to light a torch just to see what else is inside there and walk in.
Okay. As you do so, you can see that many of the machines in here are made out of bronze and copper. And there are also some alchemical tools around as well. And as you're walking, do you head towards the coffin, or?
Yeah, there's a silhouette in it, right? It's
Yeah,
made
yeah.
of glass.
As you are approaching the coffin, you walk past a figure in a chair, and then suddenly notice him for the first time as the light falls upon him, and his head is down. He's got kind of a handsome face, actually, and you suddenly recognize him as the abbot.
Oh, don't like that. Is like if I wave the torch over him, what what's see?
You move the torch closer to him, and you can see his head is down. It seems to be in some sort of contemplation or prayer. Then he just looks up at you.
Duh.
Hello there, Bartholomew.
Abbott.
And he looks and sees Kefris and Irina behind you. And he says, I was hoping that he would come to visit.
I always promised I would, didn't I?
I'm sure that that promise applied to different circumstances.
And what are the circumstances here, Abbot?
He kind of shifts a little bit, and you can see that this pile of junk behind him is not actually a pile of junk, but is in fact what appears to be like Tesla coils, just kind of sticking out of his back at awkward angles. And he shifts a little bit, and you can hear the clanking of machinery. And he says, after you turned down my offer, Strahd and I had to pursue different methods of saving this land.
And is that what you're doing here? You're saving it?
Yes.
The cities are in hell.
And that is exactly why this needs to work. And he stands up and kind of waves his hand, and that sarcophagus lights up. The glass inside illuminates the body of what appears to be the spitting image of Tatiana. And as he does this, you can hear the hissing of steam as pistons push the sarcophagus upwards until she is vertical. And you can hear the grinding of stone as the entire apparatus just kind of pivots to face you.
Is he connected to anything?
Yep, as he starts walking, you can see that there's a big long it's like a wire that's like ringed with a coil going down. So it kind of like makes a shrieking noise as it drags across the ground.
I'm gonna attack that. I'm gonna attack that so fast.
Okay, roll initiative. Oh, fuck.
Speedy, why? 8.
Also 8.
Alrighty. Okay. We need to jump back to Silmy real quick before we resolve anything. Silmy, you are literally finishing up your conversation with Escher and Ismark about how they need to separate from you. When you hear a voice begin to echo through the halls in laughter, and you recognize it as Strahd, she's like,
Great. Which way is it coming from?
It just kind of seems like it's coming from the walls. It reverberates. You can feel a slight tremor, and you can watch as ripples move through the water.
Time to move. Sylvan's gonna start running the way out.
When you like look back at your vampire spawn buddies, you can see that the two of them are having some sort of internal conflict. And Maybell clocks that,
Yeah.
and she grabs your elbow and she says, "Yup, you're right. Let's get out of here."
Sure wish we had some fucking werewolves.
So I also need you to roll initiative.
Oh, golly gee. Oh, boy. Um, 16.
16. All right. So you will be participating in this combat in the form of a chase.
Oh, good.
So-
Which dice do I use? Okay.
When we come around to your turn, you will tell me how you are escaping from Ismark and Escher. And I will remind you that they both have climbing speeds and they are both faster than you.
Yep.
All right, are we ready, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. I have separated the two of you's initiatives. So we will resolve the chase first, and then the fight, and then chase, fight, go back and forth. So what do you do on your turn to do you want us to come back to you and like do
No.
the other way around?
That's fine.
What do you do on your first round?
There are a bunch of traps in this hallway, yes?
Yes.
I would like to use my Arcana to trigger one of them to hit the guys behind me.
All right. Give me a roll.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's 8.
8.
I rolled a 1.
Super good. All right. You get a 30-foot head start, and the two of them are going to fight against Strahd's influence. However, as they do so, Ismark's arm, where his illuminatory cord that has been burned into his skin, as according to his consecration ceremony, lights up, and he gets a bonus to this. Holy butts, Ismark!
Can you make it this time?
He finally made a save in his goddamn life!
My god, it's an awesome god.
So, the two of them are like putting their hands in their heads, they like baring their fangs, trying to fight against Strahd's influence. And Escher just goes completely feral. He begins running after you.
Oh boy.
Ismark likewise goes feral, but he tackles Escher and gives you a little bit of time to get away.
Oh.
And Maybell runs along with you. All right. At the top of the round, in Fight Town, as at Kefris, I'm gonna let you have one attack against this here wire thing. I'm gonna call it a surprise round. I'm gonna give you one attack.
Okay.
At the top. Go for it.
Does it look like it's connected via a plug, or does it just go right in?
It goes like right in. Like,
Okay.
It's like legit like a part of his body by this point. Like as he turns around, you can see that it's like attached at the base of his spine, and there are just like circuitry moving in geometric patterns kind of across his skin.
And Kefris is just going to say to himself, "Kaplow," as he goes to try and strike against this electrified cord.
Cool. Let's see it.
All right. I would also like to say, can I use my bonus to rage?
Wait until your turn for rage.
Okay, sounds good.
Because
Yeah. Oh boy, that is a 26 to hit.
definitely hits.
Okay. So then that is 11 points of magical piercing damage.
Okay. So your spear goes directly into the. Do you like get any radiant or necrotic on this?
No, only if I'm raging. Yeah.
Just checking. So your spear plunges into the cord. It gets in between those coils, and you can feel it sink into the rubber of this wire. And there is an electric jolt that just kind of runs up the cord and into the abbot's body. You can see him flinch and stiffen a little bit. And then he relaxes a little. He relaxes from that jolt. And then he looks up at you and says, "I am not a violent man, but fortunately..." God, this line isn't gonna work. "I am not a man of violence.
And
That's why I have her." And he reaches up, he takes a plunger, and he flips the switch. Pazzow!
Did you just fucking Bane this?
What?
You did.
What?
You
What?
Poison Ivy and Bane, Batman Forever.
Oh
No,
is that
Batman
a,
and Robin.
Is that a line?
Yeah. She
Oh,
says, I don't remember what she says, but she says, "That's why every Poison Ivy action figure comes complete with him."
God, such a dumb line.
That's D&D.
What's the rubber lips line? Can't poison rubber lips.
Gross.
He pulls the plunger. He pulls the switch. There's electricity everywhere. Bazat, bazat, pazzow. And Tatiana's prepared vessel steps out of this glass sarcophagus, and smoke pours into the room from around her feet, and you can see her heft. She's like covered in glittering golden plate mail. Her flaming red hair is wreathing her head like the aura of a sun. And she hefts this enormous golden warhammer, and she is ready to have a fight with y'alls. And so she is going to make 2 attacks on Kefi boy. Sponge boy me bob.
The pipes are calling.
A 26 hits and a 22 hits.
Yep.
Here comes some damage for my friend. Oh god. 14 bludgeoning damage and 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And looking into her eyes, there's no spark of life. This is a soulless creature that is just sort of mechanically obeying the commands of her creator. Speedy, it is your turn.
Cool. Sorry, I'm gonna pop some shots into the abbot. 1 second, sorry. First shot is a sniper shot, which is going to be at a -5. But that's a
Did Irina get a lower initiative than we did?
Yes.
We both got 8. Oh god.
Yeah.
Team's
Does
so
a
close.
16 hit the abbot?
16 does not.
Ooh, bonus action. That's better. Does a 30-20 hit the abbot?
Yes.
Cool. That is math. Sorry. 7 points of piercing on the first, and then my second attack. 19.
19 hits.
Cool. Woo. Oh. Yeah, I didn't say it the first time around. Never mind. 10, 13 points of piercing damage to the abbot.
Okay. So you said 13 points of piercing damage and then 13 again?
No, the first one was 7 and 13. So 20 even.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Is this magical piercing damage?
No, it is not.
Okay. You can see those they where your bolts pierce his skin, they kind of bounce off, and kind of like almost as though they're chipping paint. They kind of take flesh colored skin away, and underneath you can see that there is just this bright golden light shining forth. All right.
Next.
That is Speedy, and now it is Kefris.
I would like to rage.
Okay, and then he do.
Monster Man. And then I am going to look at new Tatiana and going to yell at the abbot, was this Vasilka? And then I'm going to stab him with my spear.
Okay.
And I'll
Have
do
a go.
it recklessly. I'm glad I did. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
Yes. Okay. So there is that. And then... Okay, so that is going to be 11 points of... Or no. Sorry, I always forget how much I add for my rage. God damn it, that note's not showing up. That's okay. It's in my features with this. So that is... Oh, God damn it. I need to rewrite this. I had a cheat sheet. For 16 points of magical piercing damage, and then 8 points of radiant damage.
And 8 points of radiant damage.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm still, I'm actually going to still be attacking the cord, if that's okay. The cable that's connecting him.
Okay. It seems to hurt him just as much.
Okay. And then second attack, another 18. And
Yes.
that is for another 16 points of magical piercing damage.
All right. This seems to hurt him a lot. His back arches with every strike, as a jolt of electricity just kind of travels up his body. You asked him, was this Vasilka?
Yes.
She is serving her purpose. And then it is Irina's turn. She will do something. God. She's gonna get up between Vasilka and you, Kefris. And she is going to attack with her longsword. She can make 3 attacks. 2 with her longsword, 1 with her short sword. That hits. That hits. Holy fuck. Holy! She just rolled 2 18s and a 19 on the die.
That's my girl.
She is mad.
That's
your
wife.
Okay, here she comes with non-magical damage. 2 8s and a 6. 7, 13, 14, 17, 20, 23. Reduced. Actually, no, I don't think she gets reductions. I'll double check. I just typed something in all caps into D&D Beyond, and it like has such it has such manic energy. Yeah, no resistances. Cool. Everything is great. All right. So that was Irina, the abbot, on his turn. Will say she is serving her purpose, and it is time for you to serve yours. And he just kind of reaches out and he touches Irina. And
He cast in a spell.
No, not really.
Fuck!
And she needs to make a wisdom save. Holy fuck, Irina! That was another 19 on the die!
My wife.
She's like, nope.
No touchy. No
Fuck
touch.
off. So he reaches out to touch her, and she literally just backhands him. And she says, fuck off! And that's not her voice. What the fuck? Anyway, Tatiana on her... Oh, no, Silmi, you're running.
I'm running, yes.
What do you do?
I would like to use my history to maneuver my way back the easiest and most direct way out.
Okay.
I get +2, right? Is this a save?
No, it's a check.
It's a check.
Okay. 15.
15 is good.
Fuck yeah.
You get yourself a success. You remember, you are heading you're heading back the way that you came, and it occurs to you that you'll probably actually be able to lose them if you go a different direction. And so you use your history to remember the layout of the castle, and you jump off of the spiral staircase at a point when you think that they will not know where to follow you. Tatiana, on her turn, is going to try and maul Kefris. She just kind of sidesteps Irina and brings her maul up, and she misses with the first one, but the next one I'm pretty sure hits. A 24.
Oh, yeah. That'll do.
All right, so she swings it up, and that misses. And then whilst it's still up in the air, she just brings it back down, and it slams into your shoulder. And she is going to do a number of damage, amounting to 10 bludgeoning damage. And then it is Speedy's turn.
Okay, here we go. Crossbow one hand, sun sword at the other. It shoons out. More focused this time into like a very long, extended kukri.
Ooh.
Go pop this. No, I'm gonna attack with the sun. I'm gonna attack Irina with the sun sword. Not gonna attack Irina with Irina.
I mean,
Tatiana.
That's
No,
right.
I'm gonna attack Irina. Shut up.
This will
Damn,
fix
I've
everything.
done.
This will fix everything. I'm going to turn sniper shot the abbot. That's 19? Yes. Right?
19 hits, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. 4, 5, 9, and 21, 31 points of damage.
Jesus. Okay. All right.
And then second attack
Okay.
on the abbot. I'm
And
gonna.
that was one of your non-magical bolts.
That's one of my non-magical bolts.
Got it.
Actually, I'll try to hit him with the sun sword. Fuck. That dice is gone forever. Does a natural 20 hit?
Hell yeah.
Womp, womp,
Womp,
womp,
womp.
womp.
Or oh wait, I get dex. 5 points of radiant damage.
Yeah. Oh, total?
It's a
Natural
2.
20?
Oh, natural 20, you're right. No. Yeah, sorry. There we go. That's better. 5 and 8 is 13 points of radiant damage.
Okay. What does radiant damage do to this boy?
Probably nothing.
Uh,
It heals him.
yeah. It's just radiant damage?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Just checking. Yeah, no, he seems to be resistant to radiant as well.
Amazing. Death by 100 cuts.
God,
Okay.
this is okay. Wonderful. Excellent. Kefris, it is your turn.
So he looks like he didn't take as much damage from the radiant that Speedy did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then Kefris is going to continue looking at the abbot, but his eyes, which are normally like the white sclera with the yellow, are going to get black sclera.
Ooh.
And he is going to say to the abbot, "And what was my purpose? Just to be your monster?" And he's going to start stabbing out at him, but he's going to be using necrotic damage instead of radiant on his spear. With a reckless attack, but a 17 doesn't hit, right?
A 17 does hit.
Oh.
It was a 16 that didn't. So we found the magic number. It's 16.
Found it! All right, so that is going to be for 11 points of magical piercing damage and 8 points of necrotic damage.
All right, that seems to be the ticket that you are aiming for. So I imagine that you go in for a stab and it just kind of like the spear goes in through his gut and out the back. And he looks at you and you can see that his eyes have likewise changed as well. And they are just completely shining out with yellow light. Just there seems to be nothing underneath his eyelids except for radiance. And he says, "Do not underestimate a monster with the proper..." Oh, fuck. This guy cannot do his one-liners today.
He drank too much coffee beforehand.
God, he sure did. Do not underestimate the usefulness of a monster with the proper motivations.
And Kefris is going to growl and stab again. My second attack as a 21 hits.
A 21 absolutely hits.
Followed up with 13 points of magical piercing damage, no radiant.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. He seems very hurt. Along with these like the strange geometric veins that have like crawled up onto his skin seem to be spreading, and more and more of his skin seems to be cracking away like chipped paint, and you can see more and more of that radiance beginning to shine out. And then on Irina's turn, who should she attack? Tatiana or the abbot? Now, you know what? She's protecting Kefris from Tatiana, so she's going to go for her. Natural 1. Natural 4. And a natural 18. That is her short sword. Max damage. She does 9 piercing damage to the lady. And then the abbot on his turn will reach out to Tatiana. And I do mean Tatiana. And you can see that light begin to radiate from his hand as like the skin on it just seems to char and actually like fall away. And a hand made of pure light just reaches out and touches her as he heals her.
With a spiel?
With a spell-like ability.
God damn it. This is the most useless feat.
Oh, just you wait. Just you wait. Just you wait. Oh, one more of those.
Thank you for following Brooklyn Arts.
12,
Brooklyn.
17, 25. All right. So you can see her take a breath as wounds on her begin to close. And then it is Silmi again.
Oh boy. Silmi is going to I went a different way than I had before, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna use investigation to try and figure out the best way out of here.
All right.
God fucking damn it! I haven't rolled above a 10. I just have high stats. 11.
11. Awesome. Okay. I say you find a secret entrance and you get lost.
Fuck. Maybell, do you have any idea where we are?
You are separated from Maybell.
No, I can't. No, I can be. Oh my god, I don't have a telepathic link with her anymore.
Whoops.
Fuck.
Tatiana on her turn is going. Actually, I think that the abbot will. When he touched her to heal her, he will say, "Take what belongs to you," and then points at Irina. And so she turns her gaze on her, and that maul will be turned against Irina now. I'm pretty sure both of those hit 21 and... Yeah, 21 and the other one's higher. 7, 8. 8, 7 is 15, plus 6 is 21 bludgeoning damage on Irina. You can see this dents her armor a little bit, but she keeps on kicking. This seems to hurt, but like she is still pretty okay. Now it is Speedy's turn.
Kefris has the abbot handled. I'm turning to Tatiana, sun sorting her, crossbowing her. Hope it helps. Crossbow, no sharpshooter, because I'm going to need every bit of this. Does a 21 hit?
21 will hit Tatiana.
Cool. Has she taken damage before?
Yes.
Cool. 5 and 5 is 10. 3 is 13 points of piercing on the first attack.
Alrighty.
And again, natural 20. Yeah, boy, get it. Another crossbow shot. Damn. I maxed out.
Ooh.
So that's 17 points of piercing damage this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then final crossbow shot is not going to hit. Nat
Okay.
1. Hey.
And none of that was electric?
No, it was just pew pew.
All right, just checking.
I need the HP.
This is fair. Kefris, all you.
Kefris versus the abbot. And he is going to ask the abbot, then what's my motivation?
He's not a director.
No, like, the abbot said that a monster can be used with good motivation, so...
Ah, shit. That's not the word I wanted to use. I don't know, like faith.
You just gotta have a little bit of faith.
Faith, like it's not faith. Devotion. I think that's what I meant.
All right. Then he'll say nothing and just fucking stab this guy. 28 to hit.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
God.
And that is for 11 points of magical piercing and 6 points of necrotic.
All right. These spear jabs are just going directly through him. And honestly, at this point, he just kind of like spreads his arms and lets you do it.
Well, good, because I got a 19 to hit. And that is for 11 points of magical piercing.
All right. How do you down him?
So Kefris is going to rear back with his final spear thrust and look at the abbot and just say, Abbot, I forgive you, but the people will never forget what you've done. And then I'll stab him through the chest.
Okay.
And it's just like, I imagine, like, even though there's no necrotic damage that is happening with this hit, it is the spear thrust through, but it doesn't penetrate fully. And on the back, you just see a dark burst of energy as the magical damage hits and then just pulls the spear back out. And it is a dwindling of light from that stab wound that just sort of spreads out until he's extinguished.
All right. As you do that, he like reacts as, you know, like as though he does feel this, but like not as much as a mortal would. Like these are fatal stab wounds, but he's reacting as though like somebody's poking him with a stick, which, you know, essentially you are. Regardless, as you press that spear into his gut, he reaches out and puts a hand on you, and he says, "Well done." And as he perishes, you can see the rest of his skin just char and burn away, and he begins to glow brighter and brighter. And as he does so, you can feel that there is celestial magic occurring in this moment, as though his willing sacrifice has kindled something. And the entire castle begins to shake. And then you turn and you see Irina has actually thrown her head back and her eyes are glowing, and a radiance is actually coming out of her mouth, and she convulses for a moment, and then both she and Tatiana fall to the ground, and as they do so, there is a sound like a thunderclap, and the entire room that you're in just crumbles, and all of you begin to fall. I think we can go on break.
All right, well, that's where we're gonna go to break. So thank you, Danae, for making me hate everything about this right now. It's incredible. I am loving this last session of Strahd. I did not expect to fight the abbot, let alone find him here. I thought, if anything, it was going to be Wacko Blinsky, but, like, Whatever. Anyways, we are going to be going to break, so we shall return in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, but we shall return shortly. All right, everybody. Hello, everybody, and we're back. Hey, RJ.
Hey.
You got a really cool sweater. What does it say on the crest?
Just Indoor Adventures.
All right, you want to know where you can get a sweater like that, or at least a design if you're interested in merchandising?
TodayCuter.com.
Hey,
No.
LB, you got a really cool picture of Gwen and Ghost up on your wall. Where can I go to commission an artwork such as this?
TodayCuter.com.
Oh,
TodayCuter.com.
man, what? Oh, it's, this overlay, and all of these character portraits? Oh, do you want to know where I got them?
TodayCuter.com.
TodayCuter.com. Holy fuck, am I getting bitted? Is this a bit right now? Oh my god!
Yeah.
33 episodes.
Lipstick
You know,
is my
honestly, every single Tuesday, I get that feeling that, like, when we come back from a break, I'm like, we need to have a bit. Like,
So there.
and then it actually happened, and I was like, oh my god!
So yeah. We done
everybody,
bitted you.
And welcome to Curse of Strahd.
As you were.
TodayCuter.com. Oh god. All right. So we're going to pick up with Silmi, who was in the middle of running away from some vampires. You turn a corner as you have suddenly been separated by Maybell. Say you like pulled a candlestick on the wall, and the entire wall did like a and as you do so, you hear a chorus of hissing, and you turn around and you see two vampires spawn. One is wearing a jester's outfit and has a bearded face, and the other one is a very pretty young girl in a nice blue dress with her hair pulled up in a bun on her head. You recognize these two as Blinsky and Gertruda, the girl that you spoke with at the dinner with Strahd. And it appears that they are both vampires, and they are both here to drink your blood. What do you do to get away from them?
Are we still in chase mode?
Yeah, we're still in chase mode for you.
Solid. I'm gonna use
You're allowed to use spells if you.
I know. I don't want to use spells. I am going to, because I have something that I could do, but I really don't want to use it right now. I'm gonna use Arcana. I'm going to activate a trap if I can. Are there traps? Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. I would like to do that, please, dice. I mean, a 16.
A 16 will do it.
My dice still haven't rolled above a 10.
What are your cantrips?
Chill touch, frostbite, mending, prestidigitation, sacred flame, spare the dying.
Okay. I'll say that you can use any one of your like damaging cantrips. You face off with these vampire spawn, and you can see that they're actually standing directly where a trap would swing.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the arcane sigil that would set it off. And so you just throw a spell at it, and it sets off the trap, and like a swinging log just comes down and poof, like boots them off to the side. And you take off running again, where you turn another corner and run into somebody, and like both of you begin to freak out for a second. Realize it's Maybell.
Oh, thank God. This way. I think, I don't know.
And she says, "Sue me this way!" And she takes you to a room where you see that the floor has recently fallen out. And you look down, you see as the dust begins to clear, your brother and Bartholomew are coughing and beginning to stand up and dust themselves off. You appear to be looking down into what seems to be a chapel of some kind.
Kefris!
I'm here too.
Oh, Speedy! Oh, where's Irina?
And as you say that, you notice that there is a third figure wearing golden armor with bright red hair who has dragged herself to her feet and is walking to the front of the room. And actually standing in the middle of that, she's walking up to an altar, and standing in front of the altar is a tall woman with dark hair and a long black cape and a half-open, billowing white shirt. And it is Strahd von Zarovich, and she will literally give you guys a slow clap as Tatiana walks up and stands beside her. And you can see that there is no longer a mechanical, trance-like look in her eyes. There is knowledge, there is a person in there. And she stands protectively in front of her mistress.
Oh boy. Gonna take a knee next to Irina and prop her up, see if she's okay.
She is limp and dull-eyed.
Great.
Give me a medicine check.
Hey, I'm skilled in those. Wow, 21.
Jeez, okay. You get out some smelling salts and waft those under her nose, and she suddenly comes back to the world of the living, just kind of coughing and sputtering.
Looks up at Strahd.
She continues to cough and sees what's going on there, and you see her reach for the holy symbol.
Is it there?
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, thank God.
I was just gonna let you guys do anything about that if you wanted to. She takes out the holy symbol and she points it at Strahd, and you see her mouth move in a religious invocation, and nothing happens.
Solid. How high up am I?
A good 20-30 feet.
Is it 20? Because in 6 seconds I can grab my sister and bring her back down.
I mean, it can be.
All right. Use my climbing speed. Just whoop, whoop.
Maybelle's also up there.
Would you mind getting my wife, please?
Can she not turn into an owl?
Not on command. Look,
Contrary
hold on
to
a
what
moment.
he has
She's gonna
seen.
turn to Strahd. Just one moment. Would you mind getting?
He'll do the rest.
Strahd is literally giving Tatiana a long, passionate kiss, and she just kind of waves you off, dismissively.
So now that we're all here, Kefris will go over to Irina and say, just because you faltered, do not lose faith. And he will help her stand as well.
Okay.
Someone's gonna ruin this moment and walk over to them and she's gonna say, when I give this signal, you need to fucking get out of the way, all right?
Okay. As you are saying that, Tatiana and Strahd seem to be finishing up their own moment. Yeah, just moving on. God, it reminds me so much of Sylvie and Maybelle. We're not so different, you and I.
That's how you know they're the villain.
Oh, for the love of Michael. Okay. So there you are.
I'm gonna lean over to Kefris. Do we have anything to say to her?
He just shakes his head and he stands.
All right. Go get him, brother. She's gonna smack him on the ass. Are we starting a combat right now? Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out a shaving of licorice root, and I'm gonna slap him on the ass, and then slowly, just right in the crack, just put a little licorice root, and I'm gonna cast haste on my brother.
Okay.
Butt rock and butt licorice.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Ew. Oh god, I don't like that.
I took the rock out of my ass crack, you weirdos.
So I cast haste on Kefris.
For all this time. No. Okay. Face.
My
So
glutes
you
were
get
too tight. I would have destroyed that rock.
Your speed is doubled. You have a +2 bonus to AC, advantage on dex saving throws, and you gain an additional action for each of your turns.
This is why we call it taking Strahd seriously.
Yeah.
So during this brief moment of respite, where all of you are beginning to square up with Strahd, I would like for you all to go ahead and take a short rest. This is a once in a campaign opportunity. That in the middle of a fight, I'm going to let you take a breather, like a second.
It was a long makeout sesh.
It was a long.
There was some heavy petting, but we were resting.
Oh my god!
Started a campfire in the middle of it.
Incorrect. This is not what is happening narratively. It is everybody just taking like a. And then getting into it. It's the adrenaline rush right before a long and hard battle.
So you're saying that these several minutes felt like an hour passing, and thus...
Roll initiative, you chuckle fuck.
OG team chuckle fuck. Oh, that's better, Speedy. 18?
18 for Speedy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Whoops.
5, please.
I was still... I had a lot of hit die I needed to roll. So 13.
13. All right, well, fortunately, when I rolled, Maybell got a 4, so she's going to be right after you, Selmy.
What level am I?
At the top of the round. Before we get right into it. Kefris, when you walked over to... we should probably... We are playing with a battle mat tonight. But that's only because there are many auras for me to keep track of, and it's just kind of important to know where people are in this.
Miss DM, I accidentally deleted myself.
Oh,
there we
you
go.
did not. I moved you into my fog of war zone to spite you when you were Gundam battling with Steven earlier.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right. I'll make sure everybody's where they need to be. Alrighty then. So when Kefris walked over, go ahead and position you guys yourselves where you think you would have landed here. When Kefris walked over to Irina and said, "Don't lose faith," she says, as she's kind of white knuckling the holy symbol, "She's gone."
Then you're free. So fight like a free woman who has nothing left to lose.
All right. She puts that holy symbol away and she draws her short sword. At the top of the round, it is Speedy.
Strahd von Zarovich is gonna become a pincushion tonight. Plus, does an 18 hit?
An 18 does not hit Strahd.
Okay, bonus action. Does a 24 hit?
A 24 does.
For 9 points of piercing damage on that attack, and then third attack does a 25 hit.
Yes.
For 6, 15 points of piercing damage.
15 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
I'm going to step. No, I'll stay where I am. Turn end.
Okay. On Irina's turn, she is going to cast Protection from Good and Evil on herself. Or actually, no, she's not. Shit. Because she can't. Kefris. I can't hear you.
She needs some faith.
Give me a persuasion check.
Is it at advantage?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. Oh, persuasion, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Let's find out. An 11.
Cool. She is going to get out her longsword and short sword. And she is going to sprint at Strahd. And she is going to attempt to attack her. The first one will hit exactly and the other two miss. However, when she does so, Tatiana uses her reaction to become the target of this attack instead. And so as Irina rushes up to attack Strahd, Tatiana just steps in front of her and intercepts that sword. And it actually sinks directly into her flesh. And as she does so, Bartholomew, you get a weird feeling that this is a very familiar scene. Seven piercing damage on Tatiana. All right. And then it is... At the end of Irina's turn, Strahd is going to use one of her legendary reactions to move her movement without provoking opportunity. And she just kind of zips across the room inhumanly fast. Like, this is straight up like Dragon Ball Z movement. She does the like, and appears over there. And on her turn, she will use her movement to continue to the other side of the room. And then she is going to cast a spell. Yes, this
What
one.
does the spell look like?
She begins to form a green ball between her hands. And she is going to throw it into the middle of the room. Hopefully,
Do I recognize this spell?
give me an Arcana check.
Okay. That's much better dice. Thank you. I just needed to have wine. That's a dirty, filthy, filthy 20.
Amazing. You recognize this because the first time that you fought with Strahd, you cast a sickening radiance at her, and then she brushed it off, said how cute, and then cast the exact same thing back at you. She is doing it again.
I will counterspell that B.
Okay. Well, this is at 4th level. Counterspell is 3rd, so you need to.
I will cast it at 4th level.
Okay.
Wait, I have a question because we are using battle maps.
Yes.
What's the range?
It's a 30-foot radius.
No. Counterspell.
Oh.
Well,
60 foot.
There is a measure tool. You can find yourself there, and it measures in spaces. So you need to multiply that number by 5. It's 18 spaces. You are
16. Wait, 16 or 17? I'm not certain.
You are 90 feet away.
Fuck!
Counterspell is a range of 60 feet. Oh!
Damn it!
Playing fair.
That's fine. I've not paid attention to the ranges at all.
Yeah.
So I have to get back in that mindset.
This is the this is the rub of map-based stuff. But
that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, it's probably not gonna hit me, so like
you'll see.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Sickening Radiance at 4th level. She has cast it, and it is going to be it's within 120 feet. Spell sniper or anything, do you?
Me, no.
No, okay. A 30-foot radius centered on a point you choose within range, so I'm gonna find out where that is. Jesus Christ. Yeah, a radius is like half of the circle, yes?
You could hit all of us with it.
Yeah, that's fun. Unfortunately, Tatiana's going to be included in that, but you know what? This is what she signed up for. So she will do that, and when it's not my turn, I'll go ahead and put down that aura for you guys. So I need you all to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh boy, Constitution. I'm not Gwen tonight. Oh! Nat 20.
Nice.
Spirit dice. See, I just need to start drinking.
22.
21.
Is good. 21 is also good. Guess what, motherfuckers? Everybody succeeded except for Tatiana. However, this is one of those spells where you take half, I believe.
Yes.
Maybell rolled a 12.
No, it is not. This is a persisting.
Yeah.
Maybell rolled a 20?
12.
12. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and roll damage, and then I will read the text of this for everyone, just so that we're all on the same page. Come here, you. All right. Or take... Oh, shit. You know what, y'all? We made this mistake last time. You don't
it's
make
at the beginning.
Save. Yeah, you don't make the save until you start your turn there.
We'll just keep the saves.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. It was 4 for Tatiana and a 19 for a Irina. Okay, I'll write that down. We will resolve this when we come back to it. And now it is Kefris's turn.
Okay. So for Kefris, with haste, my boy has 21 AC as a barbarian, and I can move 100 feet per round. So I'm gonna get right up next to Strahd.
Hello.
Does that not go down because you're away from Irina now?
You need
It's
to be within
19
30.
because she has to be within 30. So 5,
Yep.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So yeah, that's fine though. So I'm at 19, but I get to attack Strahd. But I have to use my bonus action to enter into a rage.
Oh, sickening radiance damage? Because we started.
21.
We saved.
Or
yeah.
20. Yeah, 21 was my save.
He saved. And if you save, I think you don't take any damage actually.
Sick.
Ending
Getting
radiance.
radiance.
I mean, you're not because you saved. Boo. I'm firing myself. I'm sorry. What did you roll?
I got a 22.
22 hits.
Oh, to hit. I hadn't hit yet. I hadn't rolled those
that was your
numbers.
save. Okay.
Yes, that was my save.
Yeah, you don't. I'm pretty sure you don't take anything.
Okay.
Must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage, suffer 1 level of exhaustion, and emits a greenish light in a 5-foot radius. The light is impossible. Exhaustion. The spell go away when the spell ends. So yeah,
Okay. Does an 18 hit?
an 18 does not hit.
Okay. Second attack. Worse than the first. Third attack. Because I get that now because of haste. That, please tell me this hits. A 26.
A 26 definitely hits.
Okay, cool.
Don't you get 4 attacks now?
No, because haste is specifically for 1 attack.
I thought it was a full action.
It is for a full action, but with an attack, it says in parentheses, 1 weapon attack only.
Fair enough.
Yep. So Strahd is going to take 13 points of magical piercing damage and 6 points of radiant damage.
Already.
And he just steals himself. He has his shield ready, his spear's out. He's jiving with the spear that really wants to keep stabbing Strahd, so like worth
Okay.
it.
At the end of your turn, she is going to use a legendary action to move away from you. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. She just goes right up to the edge of that spooky spot. And then it is Tatiana's turn.
Did she drop the sickening radiance?
She did not.
Okay.
It's still up.
Okay.
She's standing right on the edge of it.
Okay.
So on Tatiana's turn, she's right next to Irina. She is going to cast a spell. She's going to cast. God, this is this entire fight, you guys. For the love of God. Oh, you know what? Strahd needs to do a Constitution save. That's what you meant, right?
Bit of both.
I'm gonna need y'all to keep me honest. You did 12 damage. Now, what is the or the highest damage you did on your turn was 13. What is the rule for concentration and damage?
So you cut it in half, and if that half would be less than 10, it defaults to 10.
Okay, all right. So she makes it. She's good. Alrighty then. So, Tatiana is going to cast Spirit Guardians. A distance of 15 feet for the duration. So anybody within 3 squares of her is affected by this. Right now, that is only Irina. I reckon she'll go ahead and move so that she can include Bartholomew in this. Is that 3 squares away? It's not. Okay,
That's 4
fine.
point.
That's fine. All right. So when a creature enters the area, they have to make a wisdom saving throw, and then we'll handle that then. So we've got Sickening Radiance up, and we also have Spirit Guardians up.
This is what killed that shadow demon.
It's the fruit ninja of auras.
The way that this looks is she takes that maul and she holds it against her chest, and you hear her make a religious incantation. You can see ghosts of her comrades from the war, soldiers wearing wolf-headed armor, rise up out of the ground, and they heed the commands of their general. Or second in command? She wasn't a general.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. And that was a full action, so she's good. And that will be it for her. Silmi, it's your turn. You are starting your turn within the Sickening Radiance. Your concentration or your Constitution save worked, so you're good.
Okie dokie. Silmi is going to take a step back outside of this. Token. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna like thematically drag Maybell with me and kind of try to put her behind me. And when it's her turn, she will do as she's told. And then Silmi is going to I know, Rocco. It's very exciting. I'm gonna cast. Fuck it. I'm gonna cast Mirror Image on myself, which is not a concentration. So I'm gonna keep my other one up. So when somebody tries to attack me, there will be 3 illusionary duplicates of myself, and there needs to make a d20 roll.
All right. So it just looks like there's 3 Silmis there.
Yeah.
And 1 Maybell.
Yep. And then that is my turn. On Maybell's turn, she did not save, so she needs to take
A number of damage.
Oh, did Tatiana take damage too?
Oh, sugar snap piece, you're correct. See, this is why I don't like these spells, because we have to remember to do them.
It's all right. We got you.
This is why I need you guys. You guys are here for this very reason.
Okay,
and also to play the goddamn game.
I have a question because there is nothing that says that she takes more damage to radiant damage.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay.
If I made that mistake, then that was my mistake.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure most of the time fiends don't take extra radiant damage. Most of the time. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna get out a calculator. I'm not gonna try and do math in front of people.
That's fine.
All right, so that was 21. Oh no, it was only 3. What am I doing here?
I don't know.
No, oh, this is Spirit Guardian. God damn.
No. This isn't Spirit Guardian.
Yeah, no, this one's Sickening Radiance for Tatiana, and it was 4d10, not 4d8. I'm having a time, y'all. Okay.
Okay.
We love you. We love you.
Oh,
You got this, buddy.
I appreciate it.
No. She doesn't have this. No, we don't want her to kill us.
No, just to remain calm. Like
Oh,
in a
yeah.
hostage situation.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys just start giving me therapy, and I'm like, I'm sweating under my balaclava. All right, so that is 15, 18, 23 radiant damage for Tatiana.
Holy
And she
balls.
takes a level of exhaustion. And she needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Oh God, Strahd,
Did she back up?
You are a toxic
No,
partner.
she
No?
backed in.
Oh.
Is Strahd Kefris?
We're not so different, you and I.
Oh my God. And Tatiana needs to make a Constitution saving throw, which she barely makes. Oh, God. These two.
Okay, so Maybell took 23 damage and 1 level of exhaustion. She has backed out. And she is going to stay behind. Oh, you know what? She has resistance. Hold on. I didn't realize she rolls at advantage. Nope, she still didn't make it. So I'm gonna kill my wife. Yeah, so that's she is going to stay back because I don't want to kill my wife. She only has she has 1 more hit point than I do.
I see now the mistake that I've made putting
Yeah,
you
right?
in charge of her. All right.
Well, she has a frying pan, okay? Like, she's not just gonna run into this nonsense.
All right, so Maybell has taken her turn, and now it is Speedy. Speedy, you're starting your turn in the Sickening Radiance. You already made your save. You're good. What do you do now?
Go move my ass right there. Which should be outside of the Sickening Radiance, right?
Yes. You get right up next to Strahd, and as you do so, she says kind of casually to you, this is a pretty familiar situation, isn't it, Sergei?
It's a nightmare I've been reliving this entire time. And Sunsword for dirty 20?
Yes.
Cool. 5 and 4 is 9, and 3 is 11 points of radiant damage.
11 points of radiant damage.
Yes.
All right.
And Sergei turns, his eyes flash brown as Speedy shoots her with a crossbow bolt.
Okay.
22.
22 will hit.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And he'll spin once again, and the eyes flash icy blue as Sergei attacks with the Sun Sword one last time. 16.
No, that does not hit.
Cool.
Okay. And what is the aura range of the Sun Sword for its sunlight?
Sun Sword, I believe it sheds 5, but I can double check.
All right. You do that as Irina takes her turn. She saved.
Constitution.
She already did. She already did that on her turn. So she's gonna
No, Strahd.
Oh,
Strahd just got hit, right?
Oh shit, you're right. Thank you.
Add another 8 to the first attack because I forgot versus undead gets another 1d8.
Okay. Yeah, she makes it. She's good. Still up.
It doesn't say how much light it sheds.
It does somewhere.
I'll look into it.
I want to say it's like sunlight for 30 feet and then dim light for another 30 beyond it. That's what I want to say. Irina already had her save and everything, so it is time for her to
15-foot radius of dim light.
Okay.
Oh, bright light in 15 feet and then dim light in 15 feet. You were right.
All right, so it's 3 then. Oh shit, Irina is she's starting her turn in Spirit Guardians. That's what it was. Okay. So she needs to make a wisdom saving throw. It's a 10 on the die. Her wisdom is 5. 15 is going to make it exactly.
Nice.
On a failed save, She takes the damage, and on a successful save, you take half. So here comes 3d8 of, say, necrotic damage, honestly. Tatiana's spooky now. She is a unnatural creature at this moment. So that's going to be 10. 10 I rolled, so 5 she takes. As these soldiers begin to swarm her, Irina is going to, on her turn, disengage and try and get closer to Kefris. And she will make another save on her turn, unrelated to any spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She is now within 30 feet of Kefris, I believe. She's making another wisdom save. An 18 will not be enough, so no thing happens there. All right. So, it is now Strahd's turn. God damn it, Tatiana. She's going to drop the Sickening Radiance. And she is going to do something else. So when you do a ranged spell attack, when you are adjacent to somebody, it's at disadvantage, correct?
Not in 5th edition.
Not
On
fifth
fifth
edition.
edition?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
If it's
then.
like arranged to somebody directly next to you, then it's a disadvantage, like a regular ranged attack would be. But if it's you, like, for
Or trying to hit
example,
Sylvie.
trying to hit Tatiana, you know, like if she were to do that, then it would be regular.
All right. Does she want to do this now? Yeah, she's fine with this. Yeah, okay, let's do this for a while. She is going to cast a spell on Kefris. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
Is it a charm effect? Do we have an advantage?
It's not a charm effect.
Fuck.
All right, so for this, I'm going to use the dice that our dear friend Koss made me. Which is, Koss, if I fail this, you know who I'm looking at.
Don't put that evil on her.
14.
14 does not make it.
Roll again, because you're a...
Oh, yes, I'm going to use my fanatical focus to re-roll a failed saving throw. Thank you, Speedy.
Aha, very good. Very good.
Hey. A 17.
A 17 also does not make it.
Oh, fuck. That's about as good as I can do.
All right, she is casting Phantasmal Killer. Is she, out of curiosity, on account of the fact that you guys are doing this for me as well, is she within 60 feet of Sylmie right now?
No,
5, 10,
she's further.
15,
I think.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
She's 13 squares.
She is 5 away. So if she took a step
Oh.
forward, she could.
That's fine. I'll allow it. If you want to cast Counterspell, I will. If it's within 5, I'll give it the wiggle room.
Oh boy. It's Phantasmal Killer. Do I know this spell? I'll make an arcane.
She has cast it on you before.
Okay.
So I'll let you have this one.
I don't know what level it is.
Personally, it is 4th level. A wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target becomes frightened for the duration. At the end of the target's turns before the spell ends, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 4d10 psychic damage. On a successful save, the spell ends. It's ongoing.
Yeah, Sylmie will counterspell it at 4th level.
Okay.
Just take away my spells, it's fine. And as she does so, because it is a, just kidding. It's a somatic. I don't have to say anything. I'm just gonna snap my fingers at her, and I'm gonna look at her and just go.
She gives you literally that look, where she just kind of like a little disappointed. All right, so that was her. That. She didn't like that. She didn't like that at all. She's taken radiant damage recently. She doesn't like that. She's also in sunlight. She doesn't like that. All right. Strahd ends her turn. Kefris, it's you.
Okay. Kefris is going to zip zop zoop up in between Irina and Strahd, and he is going to stab out towards Strahd. It makes the most sense to him. Yeah. Reckless attack for a 28 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. So that is for 12 points of magical piercing and 10 points of radiant.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And then second attack for 24 to hit.
Yes.
For min damage, 9 points of magical piercing.
Okay.
And then third attack, because I'm still hasty. It doesn't hit.
All right.
It's a 13. It no hit. And then I don't believe I have a bonus action I can do unless I can offhand punch Strahd with my shield, but like that doesn't seem like an actual attack I should be able to do.
Nah, there's usually like feats for that kind of stuff.
Yep, so that's it for me.
And I think you're trying to do like a thing that GB was doing in that one game that
Jordan ran.
Jordan with a PH ran. Yes. God. Okay. Sorry. Had a flashback there. Okay. At the end of Kefris's turn, Strahd is going to use her legendary action to move without provoking. This is the first one this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She gets up next to Tatiana. Okay. And then on Tatiana's turn. What does she want to do? She wants to get close to her best friends. So she will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right where Strahd was. And her men follow her as Spirit Guardians is centered on herself. And I believe it moves with her, yes?
Yeah.
Cool. So she does that. And yeah. So now she's here. I believe she will attack Bartholomew.
You want to hit a 14.
Okay. Oh, that first one was a natural 1, so that's a null. And this second one will be a hit because it's a 16. So here comes some damage, my friend. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 bludgeoning damage.
Does she get a third?
Nope. She gets 2 melee attacks.
Cool. Oh, because... Gotcha.
All right, so that is all for her. That was Tatiana's turn. And at the end of Tatiana's turn, Strahd will use a legendary action to move just a little bit further. Yeah. So that's going to be Silmi.
Silmi is going to speak to Strahd and just say, you and Tatiana have had your time. You're keeping all of these people in chains. It's not right. I don't expect her to respond.
Okay.
So I'm going to reach out a hand. My eyes are going to glow with a brilliant light, and I am going to cast Silmi Yahweh at 3rd level.
Ooh, that's really cool.
Fucking god. Okay, that's a 12. That doesn't hit. It's
All right.
fine.
Anything else for you, Silmi?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. What does Silmi Yahweh look like as you attempt to hit Strahd?
The caster glows with a brilliant light. So basically, Silmi's eyes glow white. Her body just exudes this radiant light, and she reaches out towards Strahd, and a beam of light shoots out towards her.
Okay. She moves lightning quick and ducks that beam. And as she does so, she actually just starts laughing. And she's just, this isn't about right and wrong, Silmi. Don't be so naive. It's about what I want and my ability to take it. And then
Calm down, Indoor.
it's gonna be Maybell.
I'm just gonna Maybell hold an action. If anyone comes within our area, she is going to give them what for with her frying pan.
Cool. All right. Speedy. It's all you, bud.
Bold words for someone within crossbow distance. Pap, pap, pap.
All right. Have a go.
Does a... I'm not taking sniper shots at this bitch.
Oh shit, you're within Spirit Guardian's range of Tatiana.
Crossbow master.
But Spirit Guardians.
Oh.
Since they follow her? Yeah.
Yeah,
They do follow her.
Shit. It's fine. 13, 21.
21 is going to save.
Cool. I'm gonna move.
You need to take half damage.
Cool.
This is necrotic. 13 and then 19 necrotic damage. Half of that. Half of 19.
Oh, half of 19. Okay.
So
Calculator.
9.
9. Okay. Okay, cool. Does a 28 hit?
Was a 20 hit Strahd?
28.
28, yes. And a 20 has previously hit Strahd.
Yes. Sorry. 3 and 5, 8, 9, 10. 12 points of non-magical piercing damage on the first strike. Second crossbow bolt is 9. That's a hit. 26. 3 and 5 is 8 points of piercing damage. And finally, no. I'm gonna try and shit, I can't see the radius. I'm gonna move closer to Strahd. I'll take the attack from Tatiana.
Okay. I should have written, you know what? I will. Bitch, I will. Write down her. Dirty 20 is gonna hit you.
Yep.
14 bludgeoning damage.
Jeez.
She, I think that as you start running towards Strahd, she literally just like swings low with her maul and like takes your legs out from under you, and it hurts. Like you feel a little bit of a crack in your leg as you do so, but you just tuck and roll and keep running. You actually limp a little bit as you do so.
Cool.
So you moved closer to Strahd?
Yep.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a
Irina.
horrible idea.
Irina, on her turn, needs to make a wisdom saving throw because she is within range of these spirit guardians. She's going to make it half damage. 2, 5, 7. Lucked out. Irina's actually doing pretty good here. All right. So at the end of Irina's turn, she's content to stay there, I think. Well, actually, let me double check something. How close does she need to be for this? Oh, she's fine. She'll stay where she is. On Strahd's turn. She has taken radiant damage in the past turn, I believe, so she does not regenerate. However, she's going to try and do something about that. She is going to cast Wall of Force. Yeah. You can make a hemispherical dome with a radius of up to 10 feet. She will center it on Kefris. Yeah. Okay, I'll read this entire thing just so you guys know. Formative hemispherical dome or sphere with a radius up to 10 feet. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by dispel magic. A disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly. However, the wall also extends to the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall. So a hemispherical dome appears over Kefris, trapping Irina and Tatiana in with him. I believe the only way to get this down is to get Strahd to fail her concentration save.
Or like a dispel magic if you have one.
No,
The
it
spell
doesn't
magic
work.
doesn't work.
Spell magic doesn't work.
I could counterspell it. Do we want to do that? I don't want to
Might be
metagame.
Don't meta.
I mean,
What would Silmy do?
I
Besides
think
drink more.
honestly, I think that Silmy would do it because, like, fuck Strahd. No,
I'm-
you can't. No, you can't.
I'm willing to allow this.
Okay.
That's what Cyber did.
It is a 5th level spell slot.
Ugh, that hurts me. Fuck. I will try to dispel it at 4th level.
Okay. Then you will have to make a check.
Yep, and I'll have to roll a 15 or higher.
Yes. This seems fair.
Yes. 13 plus 7.
Yes, that makes it. You do it.
Solid.
So she attempts that. And this time, instead of like a slight disappointment, you see her head actually snap towards you in like visible irritation.
Yeah. Silmy will again snap her fingers and just say, "You can't win this fight, Strahd."
She just bares her fangs at you. Kefris, it's your turn.
So I'm between Tatiana and Irina.
Yes.
But I need, more than anything, to face Strahd. So that's what I'm going to do. Irina seems fine with what she has, so I'm going to rush up. I checked and I can move to any square in this goddamn area with haste. So I'm gonna do it as best I can, and I'll get it in front of her and my sister because I feel like Speedy is a good deterrent to the Sooth. And he's going to ask. He's going to ask Strahd. If Speedy dies, Sergei comes back. If Tatiana dies, she comes back. But what happens when we finally kill your ass? And then he's gonna recklessly stab. Oh boy. 15 does not hit. So then second stabbies. Second stabbies is a 27.
Yes.
Max damage.
Ooh.
Okay, so that is going to be for 14 points of magical piercing damage and 10 points of radiant damage.
All right. So she dodges the first one, looks a little bit smug about it, and then the second one gets her. And she just cries out in anger. And you said, what happens when we finally kill your ass? She says, try me and find out!
You could trap this entire valley, but you can't even trap me. How does that make you feel? And he's going to stab at her his third time.
Hey.
For a 28 to hit.
Yes.
For 13 points of magical piercing damage.
All right.
That's it. That's all he got. He's just running up and making hecka stabs.
Okay. At the end of your turn, she will move her speed away from you. Get over next to Tatiana.
Come the fuck on.
You know what? Actually, can I get her there? How did I get her? Oh, because you can go further diagonally. Physics are weird in D&D.
It's 5 and then 15 when you go diagonal. No, not in 5th edition?
No, that was only 3.5. It's a
Yeah.
free 5 feet when you diagonally shunt.
That's bullshit!
Isn't it beautiful?
8-way movement, baby.
I mean, you are the DM, so if that's the case, then let it be the case. But, you know.
So yeah, when you stab her again, she just looks at you absolutely feral, very angry, and her head snaps over towards Irina, and then she looks at you and smiles, and she zips over towards her. And then it's Tatiana's turn. She is going to cast Heal Wounds on herself at a level of some sort.
Mage Slayer.
You wish. No, I'm sorry. I know that feel, bro. I know that feel. Why is the mage up on a dragon when I am down here? Oh, that wasn't Strahd's spells that I was looking at. That's why I was so confused. Or God, it was Strahd's spells that I was looking. Help me. Don't actually.
Never.
Okay, she's going to cast Cure Wounds at a 3rd level. Which will give her 38. 9, 13, 18 hit points back for Tatiana. God. And she heals up. And then it is Sylvie's turn.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Silmi is going to cast Mage Armor on herself. So she, let's see. She
What is her AC right now?
pulls out a piece of cured level. Right now it's 13. But with this, it's going to be plus dexterity is going to be 16.
Nice.
So I'm going to override that with as long as Maybell's in close contact. And in the top of her turn, she's going to, or at the end of her turn, she's going to look at Strahd and just say, "We know how to destroy you. We know how to destroy you forever. You should make peace." And she's like very calm in all this.
At the end of your turn, she moves closer to Irina.
Cute.
All right, Maybell's turn. She continues her frying
Held
pan.
action.
Her frying pan held action.
Don't give me my wife and tell me that she's not gonna do.
I mean, honestly, if I were in charge, I'd probably be doing the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
You. Actually, hold on. Let me double check something. Okay. Yeah. At the end of Maybell's turn, she is going to make an unarmed strike against Irina.
What?
It's one of her legendary actions.
Not
Maybell has
Strahd.
legendary actions?
Hell
At the
yeah,
end
she
of
does.
Maybell's turn, Strahd will make her legendary action to make an unarmed strike against Irina. I was like, did I use the wrong name there? The answer is yes, but only a little bit. A 15 will not hit Irina on account of her very, very good plate armor.
And marriage.
Well, I
Not
don't think
really.
she's benefiting from marriage right now. Her husband keeps running away from her. All right. So now it's Speedy's turn.
Gonna run up to Strahd. Bartholomew yells, "Don't you dare touch her!" And he's going to attack with the Sun Sword. Natural 20. Let's go.
Nice.
12 and sorry, math. I can do math. Who else can do math? 29 points of radiant damage on the first attack.
Okay. 29 points of radiant damage?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I crit with the Sun Sword, which is 2d8, so that multiplies to 48.
Oh my holy fuck. Okay. That's fine.
Oh, right. Oh.
'Cause she undead.
Crossbow bolt. 15 and 7 is 22.
A 22 will hit.
Oh, I did that wrong. Hold on 1 second. Because I have Colossus Slayer, which is an extra d8 of damage type, is multiplied on a crit, right?
Go on.
Add an additional 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of radiant damage.
Oh my god. All right.
What did I roll for my crossbow? No. Yes. No. Sun Sword second attack. No. That's my round.
All right. Holy fuck. Anything else for that? No, you just said that's your round. Okay, great, wonderful, super good. Irina on her turn is going to make another wisdom save for starting in the Spirit Guardians, but she really should have moved out of there.
Oh, I also moved into it, so don't have to.
She succeeds. Yeah, go ahead and give me a wisdom save, Brenda.
That one.
Ooh, that's no good for you. Hold on, I'm gonna calculate hers first, and then I'll give you yours.
You do you.
I will do me. She's gonna take 9 of this damage. 9 necrotic damage, and then you're gonna take. Oh, okay. 13, 21 necrotic damage as these soldiers, these ghostly soldiers of the past, pile on top of you, trying to protect their commanders. Anything else for you, Friendo?
Next.
Okay. Well, oh wait, no. It's Irina's turn. Why am I asking you? She's gonna shift over to Tatiana, and she is going to hit her because she wants to try and stop their Constitution saving throw. What is Irina's bonus to hit? Irina's bonus to hit is a +5. Okay. A 16 does not hit. Neither does that. A 17 will not hit either. That was not Irina's day. Okay. So that is the end of Irina's turn. Strahd is going to stay right here because this is where she wants to be, and it is Strahd's turn. She was going to attack Irina. However, she looks at you, Bartholomew, as you just did massive damage against her. She is absolutely livid right now. And she says, "You are not going to take this away from me again!" And she is going to attack you, my friend. That one does not hit.
Oh, here we go.
Oh!
Mr. Sandman.
You know, I thought to myself, I really hope this one's a natural 20, but I didn't expect.
Bring me a drink.
Bum, 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 bum.
Make him the deadest I've ever seen.
I kind of want to get a word in before this happens, but roll the damage.
Okay. I will. Oh my god, my heart's thumping right now, you guys. It's crazy. All right, give me a sec. Irina.
Drum roll, please.
Please don't. God,
Okay.
Stress me out.
She's got to do math, Endor. Okay, give her a break.
One small break. So as I'm rolling this damage, her clawed hand comes at you, Bartholomew, and you can tell that this one's going to hurt. This is going to hurt a lot. But Irina has a special ability that I have hidden from you guys up until this point, and Tatiana used it earlier.
Oh no.
Is going to use a reaction to become the target of this attack.
No, I deny this. Give it to me.
Sorry.
That's my wife. No.
Sorry.
Never split the party. Welcome. Thank you for the raid.
There's too much. Thank you for the raid. I'm about to fucking kill somebody.
Thank you. You just came in time to see Wings kill a vital NPC.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I do need to roll 12d6 though. Okay.
Mr. Sandman.
8.
Yeah.
Bring me a drink.
8 plus 4 is 12. So 12 damage to Irina from piercing from the claws, and then the rolling channel I got a 46 necrotic damage, which is enough to drop her. So, Bartholomew, you brace yourself to receive this hit, and then when you open your eyes again, Irina is standing in front of you, and you can see Strahd's claws actually sticking out of the armor, out of her back in front of you. And Strahd just kind of looks down and sees that, and she starts laughing maniacally, and she throws Irina to the ground. And she is just laughing directly at you, Kefris. This is not the face of a sane woman. And that's the end of Strahd's turn. Kefris, it's all you.
Kefris looks back at Strahd, and he takes a more Spartan stance with his spear and his shield, and there is an exchange of looks between himself and Strahd, and his eyes are wide, his teeth are clenched, and if this was an anime, it would just be the vertical sketch lines showing his face vibrating. He's not okay. And he is going to run directly into the thing. Needs to make a wisdom save for Spirit Guardians. That's 12. I don't think it is.
No, that won't
Fanatic
do it.
resistance.
I can only use it once per rage.
Ah, cool.
And I haven't used it this rage, but honestly,
Yeah.
I haven't been hit, and I'm at 101 HP. I'm kind of fine right now. So how much do I take from Tatiana?
Oh, God. You didn't succeed?
I did not succeed. I got a 12.
I'm still reeling a little bit. Okay, 17 necrotic damage.
Okay. And then I am going to make my attacks, and they are going to be reckless. And whenever Kefris has raged previously, it has always been partially him still there. This is the beast inside that is incredibly angered by all of this. So that is a 27 to hit.
Yes.
For 13 points of magical piercing damage and 8 points of radiant. And then a 27 to hit again.
All right.
For 14 points of magical piercing damage. And then a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
For 11 points of magical piercing damage.
Okay. What does it look like when Kefris slays Strahd von Zarovich?
Not pretty. This is unceremonious, and it is pure anger. At this point, the one person that Kefris has felt close to outside of his sister and Speedy since he has gotten to this point has just been thrown aside. Does he feel the ceremonial connection fade, or is it still there, being this close?
So I rule that whenever a NPC dies, quote unquote, that people care about, they get death saving throws just like PCs.
Okay.
However, I'm willing to change that if you guys think it should go differently.
The only caveat that I would have as to differently, did she take necrotic damage when she died? Because that is a variant rule where if you take necrotic damage when you hit zero.
You brought this up before, and it was when Strahd von Zarovich punched you in the face off of her horse. We ruled it as it does not kill you instantly back then. We're going to do the same thing here.
And Kefris is going to say in the most monster man tone that he can, I said I was going to do one thing. And he rears up his spear. I'm going to take her to the beach where you couldn't. And I'm going to stab her through the face.
Okay.
That's it.
How does Speedy react to this? This whole situation.
It's a very disjointed feeling because Sergei was in the opposite role, minus the throwing away of the body. So he's standing there shocked for a second before like he shakes it off and he's about to run over to Irina to try and heal her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that spear goes directly through Strahd's face. And she has a look of shock for a moment. And you can see just a sort of weary, manic smile spread across her face as her body begins to dissolve into mist. And she just continues laughing as she does so.
Previously when she had died, her ashes, mist, whatever, went to a place. Is that happening now, or is she just staying?
You have seen this before.
I'm hounding it.
Okay. You're gonna
like Irina by herself, Tatiana by themselves behind Kefris is following this.
So as that mist begins to move, you can hear the same echoey voice that just kind of reverberated from the entire castle, between hysterical laughter. She says, "You think this is the end? It won't let you. It will never be the end." And you're chasing after this?
I'm chasing after this miasmic smoke.
As you do so, Silmi and Maybell, are you beginning to chase as well?
Do I know that there would be a sarcophagus that is not Strahd's in this vicinity?
What do you mean? Here?
If I am looking for he who will not let us do it.
Oh. No, he wouldn't be in that kind of sarcophagus. In fact, Strahd is now the vessel. It is going to be inside Strahd. It is really Strahd's sarcophagus that you guys need to look for at this point.
We found it. Well, they found it before, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
No?
We found Basilka's.
You do know where it would be, though.
Okay. I would like to go there, please.
Okay. As you take up chase as well. Is anybody doing anything for Irina?
I went over to her.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
he healed her.
God, okay.
The healer of the party did the heal thing.
The person who actually cares.
Gotcha. I'll come to you in a second. Because everybody forgot about goddamn Tatiana.
Yeah.
Silmi, you were the farthest away, so you kind of have to run towards her to chase after Kefris. Tatiana's just kind of standing there. You see her men begin to fade away one by one. And she's got a sad, lost look on her face as she just begins to fade away into golden light.
She'll say as she passes, "It's finally time for you to rest." As we give chase, Silmi is going to drop haste on Kefris. And he is going to be out for a round. And she is going to try to overtake him and get beyond
him.
So Kefris, you were like just tearing ass on all fours, chasing after this.
I have the caffeine high, and now I have the caffeine down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybell's coming with me. Yes.
You're like the sudden drop in speed makes you just tumble for a second.
And
you should just get up and keep on going, or
I mean, I was going 100 feet per 6 seconds for a hot.
a
if I had
mechanical
nothing
thing
else to
for-
do,
Yeah.
plus
Yes, it is.
action.
for a round.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, you just tumble and kind of land on your back and you're winded.
Okay, because I would like to say if Strahd was going like zoomies elsewhere, while hasted, Kefris could move 300 feet per round.
Right. But we know where she's going, right?
You do?
Okay. Yeah. So I am gonna. Somi is going to attempt to get there. Kefris is gonna beat her no matter what. But
Okay, well, whilst you guys are running,
right,
we
it
need to
only lasts a minute, so it's gonna drop at some point.
Gotcha. We need to resolve Speedy and Irina.
Yeah.
He
So-
will cast Lay on Hands at 2nd level on her, and heal. That's the right dice. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 HP.
Can I say that I grabbed the sun sword as we walked past?
From Speedy?
Yes. You're busy.
You're gonna have to wrench it from his hands. He's coming with you guys.
Okay.
In a hot sec, he's on his way. She her eyes flutter open. She is in a pretty bad way, but you think that she's going to live.
I'm gonna ask if you could walk, but probably not on that injury.
She grips your hand tightly, and says, "Finish the job."
He'll rest his crossbow and some bolts across her lap just in case like people come down so she can defend herself as best as she can.
Mm-hmm.
Take one hand, put it behind her head, and just softly headbutt her.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back soon.
She nods. And as you walk away, you can see that Tatiana has almost entirely faded off into gold. And with one last look over your shoulder, you can see that Tatiana has knelt down next to Irina, and the two of them seem to be talking. And he shimmers and disappears completely.
What's faster, going up the stairs or going into the basement?
The direction you need to be going is the basement, anyhow. But we have just had a pretty long and rough fight. I'm gonna call for a second break.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. We're going to be heading into our second break for the evening, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com to get yourself something nice. We're going to try and be back shortly, so don't go no place. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back from our unprecedented second break. Wings, take us away.
All right, so when we last left off, Kefris and Silmi were chasing Strahd's misty form to her final resting place, and Speedy was not too far behind them. Since Kefris was out for a full round, I imagine Speedy will be able to catch up to you guys fairly quickly. Is there anything that you guys want to discuss before you arrive? Going down these cold, spiraling staircases, every now and then Silmi warns you away from a arcane sigil that would set off a trap.
Silmi's just gonna say, I know what we need to do. Just let me do it when we get there, all right?
Sure.
I believe in you. I believe in you! It's just
Silmi's like hyperventilating because she
Yeah.
never works out. She's wearing heels.
Kefris is like running 20 feet ahead of you guys. Stops. 20 feet ahead, stops. Like,
Zoomy boy. So honestly, what you could do is just like normally when you're able to go that much faster than everybody else, you're on all fours. So what you could do is just jump up onto your hind legs and run at 30 feet along with everybody else. Unless, of course, you want to be like hyperactive like that.
I think Kefris would say his piece and then run ahead.
Okay. So you chase down that misty form, and Silmi also knows where she's going. You finally get down the spiral staircase and find yourselves up to your ankles in murky, disgusting water. There are corpses of zombies and such that Silmi had to fight with her team earlier. You have to make your way through a maze of crypts. But you finally arrive in the large, ostentatious crypt of Strahd von Zarovich. You can see that when you enter into the room, you have to push open these large ebony doors. When you enter into the room, it's about as large as the chapel was, only it's very empty. The walls are carved with this Gothic crenellations, and the sarcophagus is large and looming. And you can see that this misty form is just kind of pouring itself into the sarcophagus. What do you do?
Silmi's gonna... I need the sword.
Kefris is going to body check the coffin.
Hand
Just
her
like-
the sword, just glaring at Kefris, just like, what are you doing?
In his mind, you just need to destroy the coffin.
It's pretty solid. It's made out of stone.
He's beefy.
It skirts just a little bit.
Malarisco, whatever you're going
Kefris.
to do it fast.
Stand back, please. Mabel. Oh, by the gods.
Cardio. You need to do more cardio.
I don't know why you insisted on wearing a corset for this.
I look fabulous.
Yes, you do, dear.
Just gonna take Mabel's hand. Vampire, are you here?
The misty form finishes pouring into the sarcophagus, and the room becomes eerily quiet. Before, when you had communicated with Vestiges, you were filled with a either like a certainty from an intellectual level, or from a in Kefris's case, an overwhelming sense of dread. This, however, is cold, and above all, hungry. You can feel a presence. Something is listening.
Kefris looks at Silmi. What are you doing?
I'm ending it forever. Vampire, I've come to bargain.
Hear a voice.
Turn that down.
Zarovich before you turned down my offer. How will you be different?
I accept your offer freely.
The blood of one who truly loves you. That is my price.
Silmi slowly looks at Mabel.
Mabel nods to you.
Silmi grips the sun sword. Tears start streaking down her face, and she plunges the sword into Mabel.
What have you done?
This contract is sealed.
And you hear a ear-shattering scream. The lid of the sarcophagus flies away, and you can see the half-formed body of Strahd von Zarovich convulsing as the only thing that's been keeping her alive for these past hundreds of years is ripped away from her. That dark mist swirls up into the air and comes down to meet with Silmi's body, which likewise begins to convulse. Maybelle's lifeless body falls away from her, and what is there a reaction from any of the other people present?
Kefris is going to run up to his sister and just hold her, and he's shaking his head. He is, what the fuck? This is not, no.
Is he saying that? No.
Just, yes. I mean, yes, he's saying no, but what the fuck?
So as this occurs, Kefris is yelling at Silmi. He's calling her name, saying no. How does Speedy react to this?
He's going to turn inward and ask Sergei, is there anything we can do to stop this?
No. And he understands why she's doing it. Silmi's body stops convulsing. Her eyes are closed. Her face is pale. Kefris, you can feel that there is no pulse in your sister.
Kefris starts crying, and he holds her as close as he can because he understands that Silmi has paid a price that was never asked of her. And he can't help but think to Silmi and also to his dad, honestly, of I've let you down. Because this seems like such grand magic in consequence that even if Silmi has thought about this 3, 4, hell, 5 times, there are too many outcomes that are unplanned for. But he still holds her close.
All right. As Kefris grips his sister, who is rapidly turning colder, we will cut away to the streets of Vallaki, where hunters who are fighting for their lives and the lives of their loved ones are suddenly are taken aback as the hordes that have been accosting them suddenly fall and just go completely limp. Gargoyles fall from the sky, landing in the streets. Vampires suddenly blink back into awareness. Once before they were feral creatures who thirsted for nothing but blood. They still have fangs. They are still parasitic monsters, but they have essentially all received the same treatment that Ismark has. We see Ismark and Escher come back into their own as well. We see the fog that has fallen over Barovia recede back to the borderline. People blink in sudden sunlight. And Kefris, holding his dead sister, weeping over her, suddenly her eyes open.
But I don't feel a heartbeat.
No. And we're going to have a time skip here. LB, do you want to explain what just happened?
Sure. Silmi took the deal with the vampire, which is the creature that Strahd had turned down the deal of before and inadvertently killed her love of her life and taken the deal without meaning to. Silmi, knowing what to do and how she could do it, took the deal with the vampire, killed the love of her life, and took Strahd's place. And are we going to go into further?
We can in a little bit. I kind of want to check on what everybody else does over the next few days, knowing this is explained, I'm assuming, by Silmi.
Yeah. Do we want to have a scene where she wakes up, Kefris and Speedy? You're muted, my brother.
It wouldn't be an indoor adventure without the mute. And he looks at his sister and he hugs her, and he realizes now more than ever what has happened. Because in his mind, he had thought about the idea of, well, what if that happened to me? Not necessarily what if this does. Never thought that that was a possibility. But he gets it now, and the castle's not crumbling. Nothing's happening to their general surroundings. He looks at you with a 1,000-yard stare and stands you up and makes sure that you're okay. And he says, I need to go check on Irina. And he
Careful.
leaves you.
It's bright out there.
And he looks back at you, and he looks you up and down and gives you a very brief, very fleeting half smile. And he walks away.
Bartholomew is going to pass by Kefris with a nod, stand next to Silmi and just lean against the coffin and look her up and down.
I found a loophole.
Yeah, but you just traded one cage away for another.
Well, if I'm stuck in a cage, it means that everyone else doesn't have to be. And besides, she's not really gone, you know. It'll take some time, but she's a devil after all.
Let's just hope she doesn't return crazy like last time.
I'll be back when the sun goes down, all right? Go enjoy it, please.
Maybe later. I'll stick around for a bit.
You're a good friend, Speedy.
I try.
Irina first walks out into the sunlight with Kefris. And like in my mind, this is like a montage with like swelling music and like you don't hear anybody talking, but we do see Irina go out into the sunlight for the first time with utter wonder and awe on her face. We will also.
I was going to say for the first time in the sunlight, Kefris will make a point that regardless of the person who walks out in sunlight, everyone carries a little bit of Barovia with them always, and he'll point to their shadows.
Well, I'm sure they're familiar with shadows.
I don't know.
Candlelight is a thing.
That's like, fair. Never mind.
Like,
it was cool.
But still, seeing that out in like broad daylight, that is rather remarkable. Everybody is pretty blown away by that. A candlelight shadow is entirely different from a sunlight shadow, and this is very poignant for them. We'll see Bartholomew just kind of keeping track of Silmi, fulfilling his promise of making sure that the Malrezkas stay safe.
There is a moment where he'll ask for the sun sword back.
Silmi is a little hesitant, and she gives him a quizzical look.
And then he kills her.
Yeah.
44 HP. I did more than that to Strahd.
Yeah, that's right.
When she hands it back to him, he'll reach into his bag for the crown, and he'll flip it upward and just slice through it.
There'll be no more queens, no more kings.
No more burgomasters.
Not while I'm here.
We're all Barovian.
Well, technically, but at least
unless you wish for me to bow to you, my lady.
I am much too tired for that, sweetie. But when you go to the beach, will you think of me, please?
That's a weird request, but sure, why not?
Why do you have to make it weird?
You phrased it weird.
I just got turned into an immortal. Give me a break.
Nah.
Well, I do have a fortune to pay you with now.
Friends don't charge friends.
Fair enough.
Insane.
I had one more thing.
One more, do it.
Just pulls back his sleeve and just says, thirsty. Is that offensive?
I'm all right for right now, thank you.
It is very tempting, though. As a master vampire, you're able to restrain yourself, but you can literally see the blood pumping through his veins, and it is tantalizing. So, when Maybelle was released from her contract as a familiar, she became immortal as far as this plane is concerned. So she left behind a body. So you're gonna have to do something about that in terms of like a burial or.
Yeah, I don't need that for the to bring her back, right?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, then
right now she is a demon or a devil. She's a devil. God,
she's a devil.
She's a devil. Right now she's a devil in the hells.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a whole ordeal to try and get a hold of her again, particularly with the way things are now. So we need to explain a little bit about what being a Dark Lord entails and the rules of that. Silmi has control over Barovia as of right now. And this is due to the influence of Vampire. So she is able to control the weather, and she also controls the passing of souls in and out of Barovia. Here's the thing. Solus, she knows this. Solus cannot leave. However, Bartholomew and Irina were special in the case that they had souls attached to them. Having a soul attached to you is enough to count as a person with a soul and be able to leave. With Silmi's influence, the rest of the Solus in Barovia will be able to attach souls to themselves. It's going to be kind of a personal thing. They kind of have to make a relationship with these guys, and they kind of have to figure it out on their own. But that door is now open. So what happens in the land of Barovia over the next few days?
The lunar and solar cycle boots back up. The clouds leave. There's no, I was gonna say there's a little bit of cloud cover because I'm worried about people burning, but like the cloud cover doesn't really change that.
Normal weather.
Yes, normal weather. A little bit of rain over the vineyard.
Mm-hmm. There is now a vineyard in the middle of Valaki.
And I don't know. Silmi will go out at night now that she doesn't really need to sleep, and see how everybody's doing. If there's anything she can do to help magically rebuilding things. She's very strong now, apparently. So,
all right, there is a reclamation effort made. People become like they have. If there's an adjustment period, but like they are no longer under the thumb of a tyrannical ruler. They no longer fear, and ultimately it's a brighter future for Barovia. So they all begin to band together and work on either staying and rebuilding or making plans to leave. What are Kefris and Bartholomew going to do?
I think Bartholomew busies himself with the hunters and the werewolves. Actually, he's going to see if he can get some of the werewolves and ravens to go out to scout the land around Barovia so we can actually map our way out of here.
Okay. Navigating the mists is still a little bit weird. They don't seem to they seem to push back against being charted, and like people will get lost for like days on end until finally like either finding their way out on one end or the other. It seems that those who were once soulless before are a little bit better about navigating them. And there are, of course, a few stubborn assholes who go out into the mists without a protective soul and are never heard from again.
In between that, he's checking up on Irene and Kefris.
Irina begins to recover. She is in good spirits. She starts making plans for leaving with Kefris.
Kefris lets her know the situation with his sister.
She is very uncomfortable with that at first, but she comes to understand why she did it.
Kefris also agrees. and says, we have one shot right now. For you, I mean. And I guess for me as well. There is a... I said I would take you to see the beach. I said I would take Speedy to see the beach. There's a place that I've read about, that I've heard of, called the Sword Coast. We could go there, you and me, and we could... I could show you the beach every day, is what I'm saying.
That sounds wonderful.
So where do you want to start? In the north or in the south? North is colder, south is going to be warmer, and then we work our way either down or up until it's where we want to be.
I'm pretty sure we've had enough of the cold.
Yes, indeed. I want to feel the sun on my face.
Then let's go to Boulder's Gate.
She smiles at you. And the three of you begin making excited plans for your travel. How long do you stay in Barovia?
With his sister in power, Kefris wants to leave quickly, but he understands if the other two have things they need to take care of.
Okay. Over time, the soulless begin to attach souls to themselves. Myrtle, in particular, actually manages to get a hold of Rosalia, the ghost girl from the death house.
Rosvalda.
Rosvalda. God, I'm sorry.
Is shady.
God, I'm sorry. Rosvalda. They, like, the personalities seem to butt heads at times, but the fact that they're so similar is what makes it work. And Myrtle tends to get kind of more of a thicker head. And honestly, like, there are basically help groups put into place, 5-step programs, how to get your soul. So like that is all organized and such. Finally, it comes to the day where it's time for Irina, Bartholomew, and Kefris to leave. Do the three of you leave alone, or are you going in like a big caravan group type of thing?
The quickest way that we could get there is through his sister. That's what Kefris was assuming, is that they would ask Silmi if she could send them all there. Because he knows that a trip, like a road trip from the Dale Lands to the Sword Coast would take like 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay. I think that through a concentrated effort, when you pass through the mists, Silmi can make a Arcana check to try and spit you out there. But like I said, the mists are fairly chaotic.
Yeah.
How do I know what the process is for them coming back?
To get out of there?
To get back to Barovia?
As far as your research has brought you, they basically need to walk and start walking and just keep on going. It doesn't make any like sort of mechanical sense.
Yeah.
They just need to go with a purpose.
But they can come back.
Yes,
if they want.
They can
Okay.
come back.
Okay.
Because you are able to open the gate to them.
All right.
Basically. So like you'll be able to communicate with them before, where Strahd would like intercept magical communications going in and out. You are able to allow those in and out as well. However, in your research, you find that there is interference in the fog itself.
Yeah.
And you come to realize that while you have a good amount of influence over it, the fog is not all your territory, and that there are other things out there, things that are like you.
Oh.
And they have some amount of influence over the fog as well.
Okay, so as they're getting ready to leave, Silmi will just tell them, Kefris, when you're ready to come back, it's not as simple as just letting you back in. So give me some time, and if I can't let you back in for a time, will you send a letter to Mother and tell her that I don't know what you're going to tell her.
You are dead.
You can tell her that I've died or that I've run away.
Who is she going to send a letter to? If I'm far away and you're in a different plane entirely, she can't exactly go through the Grand Postman.
Then tell her something happened on the road. You were cursed. Kefris, I don't think that I can fix what's happened to you.
I never asked you to. In a way, you did fix it. You helped me come to realize that it wasn't a curse. It was a byproduct of what we experienced here. And that's okay. I know that if I make a more conscientious effort to center myself, that it won't be so bad. Externally, I mean.
Well, I don't think you look that bad.
Thank you. I won't send a letter to Mother.
Why not?
It's none of her business. But I will send a letter to our brother. Because he deserves to know.
Yes, he does.
And can you imagine the number of pots of hot tea that would be able to boil instantaneously from Mother's seething rage? Can you imagine that?
Well, think about it. I mean, I have got a whole lot of land and
Silmi,
riches.
I love you, but I would never live here.
I know.
If you ever find yourself in Neverwinter, feel free to say hello. I love you. And he just like pats the side of her face.
I love you too, big brother. Enjoy the sun for me. And you make babies. I want nieces and nephews. Because when I'm 1,000 years old, I want there to be descendants that can come visit me, all right?
Be like, my grandmother's a dreadlord.
Irina
My dad
and,
works at the Mama's company known as Nintendo.
Irina and Bartholomew are hanging out off to the side, kind of having a hushed conversation of their own. And as soon as she hears "make babies," she just like perks up. She's like, "Say what now?"
Many, many babies.
Now nobody asked me about this.
Don't you know it's in your nuptials?
Yes, I was not invited to the wedding, so you have to do something for me.
She grinds her fist into your arm. Um, as we kind of pan out and everybody is joking back and forth at each other, Maybell goes, or not Maybell, God, she's not here. Silmi goes to stand at her throne in Ravenloft, and on either side of it are Escher and Ismark, who are both dressed in fine clothes, and they just kind of look at each other, and they're both standing guard by her side. And the three of you make your way out of Ravenloft and start making your way down the old Svalich Road until you find yourselves standing in front of the fog wall.
Kefris will reach out one hand on either side to Speedy and Irina.
She takes it.
Speedy will clasp his arm.
The three of you walk together into the unknown. And as you do so, you go for what feels like hours. And you can't even see your hand in front of your face. At some point, Kefris, it feels like you've lost hold of Irina. And you look back at her, and she kind of looks down. She goes to take your hand again. Her hand just goes right through yours. And she looks down at her hands, which are now see-through, and you can see that her body is beginning to turn translucent from her extremities inward. And she says, "She never came back."
And Kefris is going to like put his arm around her and try and run back into Barovia.
You run as quickly as you can, and you can, like, this feels like a fruitless effort. The mists seem to be pushing against you. They seem to be confusing you. Bartholomew.
Mm-hmm.
Sergei offers you a choice.
He will look back at Kefris and Irina and nod to him as he will start walking back to Barovia.
Okay. What do you
I'm saying yes to the choice of him.
We might not be on the same page here.
What is the
Wait,
page
what's the
that Wings
choice?
is on?
What's the choice?
Sergei can attach himself to Irina,
Yes.
and you will disappear instead.
Okay. That's we were on the same page, but we phrased it differently.
Gotcha. All right. Back into it. Bartholomew walks back into Barovia towards Irina and Kefris. Irina is slowly fading away. What does Bartholomew do?
He will pat Kefris on the shoulder. Can't win them all, huh?
What?
And he will keep walking.
No.
And as he passes by Irina, he will point to the necklace that he had given her. I still want that back. And then he'll disappear.
Speedy! Speedy! Bartholomew!
Irina slowly becomes more and more opaque, and suddenly, as the soul takes hold within her, tears begin to pour down her cheeks.
Bartholomew Toronescu, you get back here this instant!
Cut to black. It's time for an epilogue. Stephen, you're going to play as Theodore Malrezka, as he received a very interesting letter explaining everything. And oh my god, he needs to get to Barovia right away and see his sister. So Theodore is sitting in a carriage right now. Can you explain a little bit about Theodore to me? Who exactly is he? How is he related to these people? What does he look like? Who is this person?
He's their half brother. He is a little brown-haired half-elf boy. LB, what color are his eyes?
They're green.
They're green. So he has green eyes, brown hair, and he is just the cutest little button that you have ever seen. And he doesn't know his older brother almost at all. Kefris has been gone pretty much his entire life. He does, however, have a vague recollection of Silmi. You know, he's lived with her for several years, but if she's gone longer than a month, who really had a sister? Was it him? Maybe. And they've been gone a while. And he just received a letter in his brother's own hand, which he does recognize because it's his brother. His brother was nice and wrote him notes from afar. And it's incredulous, but it explains how to go and say hi. And the hardest part about this letter is trying to write out steps to trick Mom into saying it's okay.
Does Mom ever say it's okay?
Do you think Mother would say, yes, of course, go to Barovia. It's a totally aight place. And then she smokes her fucking opium pipe and continues being worst mother of the year.
Oh my god. Okay. So, like, some way or another, Theodore winds up in a carriage with two servants, a hand servant, and a driver. And he is on his way. He's following the instructions that were given to him, and he's on his way to Barovia. How does he pass the time in carriage?
LB, is our brother a bard? He's the third son.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah,
He's
he is, and he plays the
practicing.
frickin' lute.
He's in the equivalent of a high school band as a young sireling.
God, this fuck. Okay. Great. Awesome. Wonderful. I love it. Okay. So is he sitting in the back of the carriage just kind of noodling
Just
away with this
noodling
lute?
away. He's
All right,
playing.
How old is he right now?
How far is this time skip?
I don't know. It's like a good number. Like
He was close to like
How old was he?
12 when we
when
left.
you left. Okay, so we're gonna say he's like 16, 17 right now.
Okay.
Like old enough to be rebellious and like
He's playing
either-
punk.
he's playing punk right now. He might not be here like with his mother's permission. He might have snuck out a little bit. So he's hanging out in the back of this carriage, just kind of noodling away with his lute, when suddenly the carriage comes to a stop. And you hear a blustering from the front of the carriage. And you hear the boots of your hand servant drop down onto the road, and the door opens, and there is your hand servant. We will call him Simon, and he has like enormous mutton chops and a mustache that kind of connects to them, the Mobius stash, if you will. And he says, "Young Master Theodore, I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but it seems that we've lost track of our driver."
What do you mean we've lost track of our driver?
Well, I was just reading.
You were
and
reading?
as I do.
Weren't you
often.
supposed to be in charge of localized defenses?
Well, regardless, our poor Master Leopold is driver. He is gone, and I'm afraid we've lost our way.
No, that's impossible. We were following a main road.
Well, come on out and have a look, Mr. Theodore. I do need your help trying to figure this out.
Rolls his eyes in a very similar fashion to his half sister,
You
and
step out, and it's like pea soup. You cannot see a thing. It is just the thickest fog you've ever seen.
huh. Well, that still doesn't excuse the driver.
Yes, I have no idea where he's gone. And as he says that, it is punctuated with the braying of a hound. And the two of you kind of both startle a little bit and look off in the direction where that came from.
I don't
And-
remember requesting hounds.
That's not our hound, sir. And you see the silhouette of an enormous bear hunting dog standing next to a silhouette of a man who is holding a crossbow. And those two silhouettes begin to come closer and closer. And what do we see, Justin?
They see a very older Bartholomew. He's probably shot up to somewhere around 6 foot something. He doesn't have quite his dad's beard and mustache, but it's like growing in. He does have, you can see, he's not wearing his headband. There is the prominent scar across the forehead. And like just a bit of hair hangs over it. He's wearing his chief hunter clothes as he walks over with the crossbow over his shoulder and tells the dog to heel.
Please.
Excuse me, sir. I'm afraid we're lost. Where are we?
What business do you have in these lands?
I'm just coming to see my sister. That's really all there is to it. And he gives you the biggest sad 16-year-old. He still has very boyish faces, but just...
What's your name, pup? Maybe I know your sister.
Malreska.
Oh, gods. He will shake his head and tell the boy and his servant to get back on the cart, and he will drive them in. So you're her step brother, huh?
Half brother.
Same difference, it's all family.
No, there's a real difference in lineage.
God, it's so
Why are your hands up in the air?
Because he's on the inside of the cart and very scared.
You know, if it's one thing you have in common, you are both the most infuriating people I've ever met.
Who do you mean?
Your sister, Silmi Maureska. Actually, your brother is also very infuriating.
Keffy?
Love of God.
For the love of God. They ride for a few minutes, and the mists part as they enter Barovia. You know what happened to your brother and sister, right?
He shakes his head. From inside the cart, but at this point he will have, like, poked his head out.
Yeah, there's a little window that you can poke your head in between your hand servant and Bartholomew.
As they're driving, he will point out places. This is the old Svalit Road. That was the remains of an old mill. They'll enter Valaki, and he'll point up to Castle Ravenloft. And that's what your sister is. So, Theo Malaresca, I say to you, welcome to Barovia.
The end.
Wow. We did it! We finished a campaign!
Wait. Just one more thing.
What? What
Yeah?
the fuck are you doing here?
And as the little brother looks up at Castle Ravenloft, he sees two figures standing on a balcony. It's Silmi, and then a very, very pale tiefling.
Hubris?
Hubris?
And
Now
that
let's
is where we are going to call it for the campaign. I would like to say first and foremost, thank you, Danae,
We're
for
done!
running this wonderful game of Dungeon and Dragon. You did it. Throughout the caffeine that you had today, you fucking did it. Grats, mate. So, speaking of that, hey, Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, you can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can find me here on Mondays playing as Coriander the Eldritch Paladin, and we're going to be doing different things on Tuesdays. I'm going to let Steven talk about it. But yeah.
DanaeKeener.com.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel where you can catch me RJS282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerd things in my life. You can catch me here as Caleb the Shadow High Cleric on Mondays in our homeroom campaign. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I don't know what we're doing on Tuesdays, but you can catch myself and LB Hackem up this Sunday while we play Pathfinder over at G Game Nights with a K.
Cool. I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me ruling over Ravenloft and all of Barovia. Also on Mondays as Gwen, the halfling barbarian fighter. This Friday, I believe we're playing on Dammit Barry's channel doing Ghost of Saltmarsh, where I play a Triton druid who is in a whole heap of trouble right now. And then catch me with RJ on Sundays at 8 p.m. on G Game Nights doing Pathfinder, where I play a character that's reminiscent of Silmi, but a little more like Ghost. DanaeKeener.com.
And hello, everybody. If you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, it's me, your bone-hurting boy, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Currently, we have a giveaway that I don't have a giveaway link to, but it is for a copy of Descent to Avernus with the dice bundle as a special edition cover, as well as the cover that is special edition for the Tyranny of Dragons. It's going to be a good time. However, we have finished with a module, which means that next week things are going to be a little bit different. I am going to be extending the invitation to our dear friend Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and we are going to be continuing 1 year later from where the Waterdeep campaign ended. So, Hubris, Ghost, and Kronk are all going to be coming back. However, we're going to Ravnica, baby. And that is where we are going to pick up next Tuesday. I would like to say, once again, thank you for everybody who decided to join us for this wonderful series. Thank you to Danae for volunteering to run this game. I greatly appreciated being able to be this monster man. And we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!
Goodbye, everyone!